There are plenty of good films to check out right now, and producer Charlie joins me now with the latest edition of Cinema Corner. So where do we start?
So how about a little action thriller?
Okay, I love it.
Okay,
Better than horror.
Well, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Whatever.
But this is an R-rated action thriller, like I said. So it follows an estranged couple with a bounty on their heads who must go on the run with their son to avoid their former employer, a unit of shadow ops that has been sent to kill them.
Oh, casual.
Yeah, right. This stars Kerry Washington, Omar Sy, our girl Divine, Joy Randolph, Method Man, and Mark Strong. Sterling K. Brown was actually set to be one of the lead roles instead of Omar, but he didn't end up doing it. But he is one of the producers.
Very cool. I was going to say, this is the very, maybe not as familiar with some people, but very stacked cast and also producing stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So it's, in my opinion, it's a mix of Mr. and Mrs. Smith meets John Wick.
Oh.
And Kerry Washington was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Was she? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the vibes it gives off. I will say there wasn't as much action as I would have anticipated there and would have liked there to be.
Okay.
I mean, the scenes they had, they were kind of simplified fight scenes, you know, nothing too crazy off the wall, especially with that John Wick feel in there, you know.
Yeah.
John Wick's all over the place, so it was a pretty good one, though. I will say my favorite part was their son, played by Jaleel Kamar, and then obviously Divine.
Yeah, of course.
Because she's great in everything she does.
Because stuff.
Right, exactly. So worldwide, this has only made $200 million with a budget of $60 million. So it's not doing too hot, and I don't see it getting there at this point.
Well, there you go.
So, you know, if you're looking for a good action thriller, though, it's pretty enjoyable.
Maybe a bust at the box office, I guess we'll see.
All right. Now, moving on, we have Fight or Flight, which is an R-rated action comedy. So this stars Josh Hartnett as a man who is recruited to identify and protect a wanted criminal aboard a commercial flight airline. So this stars alongside Hartnett, Charithra Chandran, Katie Sackhoff, and Julian Kostov. And I will say, I had not seen a single trailer or anything about this film going into it. So I went into it 100% blind, which I really liked.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I've said it before and I'll say it again, trailers give away too much of the film.
Yeah.
So going into it completely blind, I do it rarely because of the trailers that play before all the movies.
Yeah.
So it was nice having that refreshing, not knowing what was coming or really what was happening, you know, going forward.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it though.
Okay.
Hartnett's performance is amazing. He's just shines in it. You know, better than when he was in last year with for Trap, for M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun, it's silly. It does kind of feel a little different, in my opinion, from films that are similar to it. I would say maybe it's more based on that the location-wise, it's mainly in an airplane, and also it leans more in the comedy than like heavy action.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, it's got a lot of action,
but
it's not like super crazy, over the top. It's more leans in that funny side of the action, you know?
I get that.
So worldwide, it's made $2.5 million.
Okay.
Not sure the budget, though. So
we'll see.
We'll see. Now, let's move to a different genre.
Yeah.
Let's have a little romantic drama musical.
Okay, you like this one, yeah?
I did like this one. So this is Juliet and Romeo. It's PG-13. We all know the story of Romeo and Juliet.
Do we? I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you don't, I don't know what you were doing in your English class back in high school.
That's fair.
So this basically is a retelling of the greatest love story the world's ever known, basically, you know? But it's set as an original pop musical.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So a little spin on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely different because in my research and my knowledge of what I've watched that's based on Romeo and Juliet, there's not been a musical movie at least. You know, we have like the Broadway shows and everything that have some music to it. But this stars Claire Regard and Jamie Ward. They're pretty new to the scene.
Okay.
There are Romeo and Juliet, our star-crossed lovers. This also has Jason Isaacs, Dan Fogler, Rebel Wilson, and honestly a lot of other good castmates.
Throwing in like some
big names
there, yeah.
So this was written and directed by Timothy Scott Bogart. So he did a ton of research going into this. He went and back researching hundreds of years, even before Romeo and Juliet was actually written by Shakespeare, because Shakespeare did not originally create that story.
Interesting.
They're based on, there's just all these stories going down the line of history, all the way back to like the 1300s, you know? So he did a ton of research. It's taken him 10 years to get this film to the big screen.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I did actually just talk to him. It's on ozarksfirst.com. It's unscripted if you want to watch. He's very passionate about this film. I really did like it.
Yeah.
His brother actually is one that did the music for this. His repertoire of songs he's worked on, he's done Halo by Beyonce. He's done SOS Rihanna, Water Me Lizzo, and just so many more artists that he's worked on.
The list goes on.
So you know the music's gonna be good, and it is.
Yeah.
And along with the amazing music, amazing cast, like I said, amazing sets and costumes. The production designer is a 3-time Oscar winner.
Wow.
So it is beautiful. I will say though, I was a little sad to see Worldwide's only made 100,000 so far.
Oh, that's kind of.
But I also feel like I saw the trailer twice, maybe tops, so not as well marketed as it maybe needed to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you see it out and about, go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. I love that.
So now onto your favorite genre.
Every week, this makes me mad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Clown in a Cornfield, an R-rated slasher. So this is actually based on a novel from 2020 by the same name by author Adam Cesar.
Okay.
It follows a group of teens in a fading Midwestern town as the town's mascot, Friendo, just kind of starts to go on a killing spree, you know?
Oh.
Casual, you know? So this stars Katie Douglas, Aaron, oh yeah, sorry, I thought I put the wrong name in there. Aaron Abrams, Carson McCormick, Kevin Durand, and Will Sasso. So I will say, I wasn't going to watch this originally.
Yeah.
Horror's not really my top thing. I'm kind of like meh about it. But I ended up going, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's not like a super scary horror movie. In my opinion, I would try to say it's more like Scream, that like comedy-esque in there, you know?
Yeah, that I'm following.
So it does have, it's funny. It's a bit gory, not like over-the-top gory though.
Yeah.
So this takes place in a fictional town of Kettle Springs, Missouri.
Oh.
Yes. So there are some characters that have some southern accents that I don't feel like fit Missouri very well. You know, we have some people with southern accents, but the accents were given more like deep south.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that.
And also the setting gave more like Iowa, like the giant never-ending cornfield, you know? There are some cornfields in northern Missouri, but they're not as ever expanding as, you know, like Iowa, Nebraska,
Should have had it set in a different
Kansas.
city.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will say it hits on older generations, not really like in the younger generations, and how they can kind of be stuck in their ways and not want things to change.
That's an interesting thing to talk
So,
about. Yeah.
Worldwide, it's made $3.7 million with a budget of $1 million, so it's already tripled what it was made for.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
now moving on, we have Bound.
Okay.
This is a crime drama where, in order to escape her drug-dealing, abusive stepfather, a young introvert flees to New York City after successfully reinventing herself. She realizes she must confront her dark past to truly be free. So this stars Alexandra Faye. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your last name. Sedigan.
Okay.
Byron Carroll, Jessica words are hard. Pimentel, and Jay Alexander. So this is very good, but it's a very heavy subject.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a story of hope, but it does hit on like found family, you know, and forgiveness as well. But you have to get to that point. It's definitely a good one for Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May.
Yeah, I love that.
The cast is very good. This was actually written, directed, and produced by Isaac Hirotsu Wolfter, who was a Broadway actor. And he said that he wrote the film to, quote, remind people that no matter what level of adversity we face, it's okay to cry, to admit defeat, and to ask for help.
Oh, I love that.
So it's got a good message to it.
Yeah.
It also, fun little fact, features the first ever live flying squirrel in a film.
What in the world?
And his name is Bandit. He's pretty cute.
Not Bandit.
So,
Okay. Well.
this opens theatrically this Friday and is also available on Apple TV and Prime Video on the same day.
All right. I love it.
So also on top of that, coming out this weekend, we have the new Final Destination movie, Final Destination's Bloodline. This is the 6th in the franchise. And then also The Weeknd's new film, Hurry Up Tomorrow.
I can probably do without that.
I'm not too confident in that one, just
Yeah.
based on that show he was in like a year or so ago.
I didn't do very well.
Yeah, we'll see how, it has Jenna Ortega in it too, this
wow.
movie. So we'll see.
I don't know. What about streaming?
So streaming on Thursday, we have Paddington in Peru on Netflix.
Okay.
And then Friday, The Brutalist on Hits Max.
Well, make sure you designate a big chunk of time to check out The Brutalist.
Literally.
So it takes a while. But all right, well, that's all the films this week. So go check something out both in theaters and on streaming, and let producer Charlie know if you have any thoughts on these films. Unscripted, we'll be right back.